Let's create another model. So in the models, I'll add a class and I'll call this one register. So this class will have the properties for the registration form that the user needs to fill in order to register. So what do we need? Well, we'll need the username. The user will need to create a password. Then we can have a text box to confirm the password. And then we can have another requirements. For example, we'll need the user's email, maybe full name, and also let's ask for the birth date as well. So I'll go back to sign in class and copy the first two, which is for the username and password, because that is needed for the register as well. And I'll just place it right there. I'm going to bring in the namespace for the data annotations. And I'm gonna copy the password and add another property, and this one is going to be for the confirmation of the password. So I'll call this one confirm password. And I'll change the name to confirm password. But I'm going to add another attribute here, and that's because I want to compare this password with the one that the user entered and see if they match. And there's an attribute for that, which is compare. And you can see it provides an attribute that compares two properties. So now we'll specify what we want to compare this to, and we want to compare this to the password that the user entered. So this is for a confirm password. Then we can have an email as a requirement for registration. So the display name is going to be email, and the property is going to be called email as well. And I'm going to use a validation for the email, and there's an attribute for that called email address. An email address validates an email address. And then I'm going to have a string property for the full name. That's going to be another required field. So the display name is going to be full name. It's a string, and I'll call this one full name. And finally, let's ask for the birthday as well. So this is going to be our last required field that the user needs to enter in order to register. So the name is going to be birth date. And this is not going to be a string, this is going to be date time. And I'll call it birth date. So this is going to be a registration form. And with this, we are now ready to create a controller that will contain the functionality in order to register and sign in.